Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And tonight we'll be reviewing a movie called Aquaslash that was released in 2019.
This was a Canadian slasher film.
Yes.
Made by Canadians in Canada. There you go.
Yeah.
It wasn't Americans on holidays in
Yeah,
Canada.
I wanted to try something that was off the radar sort of movie.
Well, this one here is, we believe, we'll find out, didn't go mainstream theatres, hit the drive-in circuit for a period, and then went to video on demand. Mm-hmm. So it's probably been missed by many people. If you didn't know it was out there, you wouldn't know it was.
I had a best friend.
You got a best friend, have you?
Yeah, she's been with me for many years, and she told me when I was saying I was going to review Aquaslash, she said she didn't even knew about it.
See?
Yeah, so I told her that maybe it went directly to one of the streaming places.
Well, it had a very short run, I gather, on the drive-in circuit. Yes,
and maybe the reason why it was not Shudder now is because it's been removed to better places now.
Well, you can actually buy. Well, we'll talk about buying stuff later on. But it went straight to almost straight to video on demand.
Yeah, and I know I'm kicking off too early, but the reception for this was not really good.
Look, can we just?
I know I'm going ahead of myself, but this movie.
Why don't we tell what the critic said and just wrap it up now without telling a story?
Sorry, I'm just saying that this movie was not considered. It's one of its best, is what we're saying.
Well, gee, thank you. That was my bit I was going to talk about after you do your bit. She does it to me all the time, doesn't she, folks? Yeah. Okay, right. Here we go. Produced by Pierre Alexander Bouchard, directed by Renaud Gautier, written by Renaud Gautier and Philip Callan.
Both of their names sound French or European.
No, there are French Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they get the French names. Well, they're the same as down in New Orleans has the French names too. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on. I won't say too much here because Sarah's going to take over and talk in a minute, but it's pretty much set in a theme park, a water park, and which Sarah will tell you about in a moment. And now, budget, box office, got no freaking idea. I believe by what we have seen, it's a low budget. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, very low.
And they didn't spend much on costumes. They're running around in costumes. Bikinis, it's a water park. What do you expect?
And most of the time we do get a few odd naked scenes, which means...
So no costumes at all. That saves a lot of money, doesn't it?
Which makes you think they're running around in their birthday suits. Happy
birthday to... Anyway, a bit of a cast. I won't go into it too much here. Okay, Nicholas Fontaine plays Josh. He's sort of the lead love interest sort of thing as a band. He's in a band, anyway.
Yeah.
Brittany Drysdale plays Priscilla. Now, Nick Walker plays Paul, the park owner. Mm-hmm. Madeline Harvey plays Alice. That's Paul's wife. You know, they're going through a few problems. Yeah. Paul Zeno plays Tommy, a park employee. Chip Chuipka plays Conrad, the old pool cleaner gentleman. He's a funny guy.
I think he's like what's the?
He's a bit like a caretaker.
He's like the harbinger of doom, sort of.
Oh yeah.
Only he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't. He's not a harbinger.
Well, I would have loved it I would love it if he was the harbinger, the one who tells you there once was killers in this park. It would have been cool if that would have gone to another level to make it look more creepier. But anyway, moving on.
Hojo Rose plays Michael Randall, Josh's dad. Okay.
Yep.
Some of these people don't last long in the movie.
Josh,
Ryan Alley plays Slim, one of the band members. Cameron Geller plays Chad, a band member. And for some silly reason, they thought it would be good to muck around with his name so no one got his name right during the movie.
It's an ongoing joke, like...
Chuck, Charlie, whatever, you never got that. Orange Chad! Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Lanissa Dawn plays Kimberly. That's Tommy's ex-girlfriend. No, Tommy's girlfriend and Josh's ex-girlfriend. So
Yeah.
she's between. Well, she's left one and he's got on the other, but she still likes the other. The first one. Anyway, Ivan Osser plays Big Phil. Is that one of the guys paying the house?
I don't know.
I
can't recall.
I can't remember.
I know for a fact most of these people are what you would call my cannon fodder.
Cannon fodder with a lot of testosterone running around.
There's that too.
Anyway, do you want to start telling the story?
Might as well. I mean, it's a disappointing story, but I might as well.
It's a good story. It could have been done better. But anyway, that's how we go.
Recap. So here we go. So the story begins. Two heartthrob teens. It's middle of the night. They're at a pool. I mean,
at a water park.
At the water park. They're about to get their naked on, but actually a killer appears and knocks the male off the slide while killing.
They're up at the top of the water slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on top of this water slide. Yeah. He was knocked down with the famous cry from Star Wars.
And died when he hit the ground.
And the girl gets hacked to pieces.
With a machete. I wonder if Jason Voorhees or somebody knew someone borrowed his machete.
There is a bit of point of view shots in this, which I don't mind too much, but it's anyway, it's not important. So we cut to the high schoolers. They're arriving in big buses.
Now, I'm just trying to figure out right now.
Go on.
Were their bodies found in the cupboard later on? So this must have been about a couple of days apart or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it must have been only a couple of days later or next. No, it could have been next day because they were looking for them, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Where are those other two people? Yeah, so it must have been happening just the day before these people were about to arrive at the park.
Yeah, so...
I never actually said that.
So, anyway, kids arrive. Yeah. Buses. Kids wearing cap gown. It's graduation. If
they got the graduation gowns on, the flat hats and the black robes and stuff. Why would you bother? I would have got rid of that crap straight away before I got on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, considering most of the time we just rent the stuff and then we...
Well, we do in Australia. Yeah. They may rent them, they may buy them, they get them, the grandma make them up in the old sewing machine. I don't know. Just get on with it.
Okay. So they arrive. They're welcome, told that this is a great time to be young,
and have
carefree,
sex, and
have sex.
And get in trouble and
So this is like sort of a special day for the kids to have a great time before they head off to separate colleges, who knows where.
Or whatever. They've graduated. Why do we go to another college? They could be going to the workforce. They've finished school.
Who knows? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're college students.
Whatever.
High school students, sorry.
They've graduated.
Yeah.
They're escaping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, they're off there, told that they're going to have a lot of fun at this water park. It's boring, you go to crap. And there's a lot of sex, testosterone, as Mike points out to you. And there's a band called The Blades, which Josh is playing in.
Guys.
Yeah.
A little three-piece combo. No, not too bad.
Most of the boys and the rest of the high schoolers said how crappy they were, even though I did think the music was not too bad.
It wasn't too bad. Look, it wasn't great. I would not buy their records. However, it wasn't too bad. I have heard a lot worse.
Yeah. It's mostly the first half of this movie is mostly just ordinary high school crap.
And that's probably at least half of that. Yeah, at least half, if not a bit more than the first half of the movie. Nothing much is going on. It's sort of like people hanging around, people sleazing around, having a bit of sex, and someone cheating on a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They're not doing anything to actually promote the storyline.
Yeah.
And that's probably the thing which actually pulls this movie down a bit.
Yeah. Paul is approached by Michael Randall, Josh's dad, to see about selling the park to him. Although Paul doesn't want to, this is his only income to support him.
He could make a lot of money out of it.
He could. And Priscilla, he's I guess his assistant or co-owner.
Priscilla was his.
Was Priscilla his wife or girlfriend? I wasn't sure.
No, girlfriend. Because Alice was Paul's wife.
I wasn't sure.
I think Priscilla was a loose cannon.
Anyway, Priscilla wants to sell the park while Paul wants to keep it.
Yeah, I think she's a business partner. That's why.
Yeah, and she goes on a dinner date with Michael and tries to get persuaded into selling the park, while under Paul's nose. Isn't that right?
Well, they were discussing it without talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah, while this is happening, Josh and his ex-girlfriend, Kimberly, they have a brief running into each other. She works at the park too. She's sort of one of the assistants there, along with another guy who is her boyfriend, Tommy.
Yep.
And it's become a love triangle in this movie. There's always a
Tommy's girlfriend is having a bit of rumpty-bumpty with her ex.
Yeah.
As mum would in these movies.
And just like most movies, you get a jerk who decides to film it because he thinks it will give everyone the kicks.
And let it loose on everyone's... I would like to know how you broadcast that through to everyone's phone.
I don't know.
I would love to be able to do that. Especially get some idiot giving someone a
You
hard
have to
time.
you have to have somehow everyone's mobile phone. You have to be a friend to everyone. And no doubt, I don't think anyone would have given their phone number willingly to this guy. I don't,
Nah.
especially to a stranger.
Maybe borrow the phone. I don't know.
Anyway, the boys get to a scuffle on stage while Josh is doing his performance. He's playing music. I forgot to mention. And then eventually they're pulled apart. And then Tommy is later next day fired for his misbehavior.
Because he beat up the entertainment.
Yeah, and that very morning, they got a special contest on where there's free slides, or more than one free slides, where each one will be having 3 people on it, and each one of the groups will, if they get down first...
They get a prize?
Cash money and a trophy for their efforts.
So they're going to have races down the tubes,
Yeah, this is the second half of this movie, and this is where the killings start. Michael Randall, he's the gets the first cut. He gets killed off
by an unknown assailant. With all POV shots.
Yeah.
I'll give you anything you want.
Oh, before I forget, the night before, someone, a person puts some blades, 2 sharp blades into one of the slides.
Water slides inside the tubes, so no one could see them.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah, and anyway, I like to think this is the reason why those 2 teens before in the opening may have gotten killed. They would have stumbled across this killer, putting them blades in, and then they would have...
Nah, I don't think so. I think it was done that night after the people got there.
Maybe.
Because they would have known otherwise.
Yeah.
It would have already happened. Yeah.
Anyway, they probably didn't knew that someone was around, so they should killed them to silence them. Who knows?
Probably.
Anyway, Paul's annoyed.
It remains unexplained to this very day.
Paul gets annoyed that there is lack of people around to help.
2 people are missing.
Yeah, 2 people are missing.
Let's know that.
Yeah. So we only have Kim, who's also and what's his name? Conrad, right? Isn't it? The older guy who's...
Yeah, the old guy and Kim and Tommy's been fired.
Yeah. So we only have...
So there's 3 down, making things a bit hard.
Kim wants to go down the slide with Josh and one of his mates so they can win the prize. Mm-hmm. Even though Josh isn't... he's a student, but he's also the hired band. So technically, he may not be allowed to enter, but his friend Chad says, let's go do it, and all that stuff. And of course, the other friend, I'm not sure his name, isn't there. Slim, that's his name.
Slim, yeah.
He's not around. We don't know why, but we'll soon find out why. Anyway, so they head up to the top of the slide with everyone else. Tommy is denied to take part because he's no longer an employee, so he thinks that I'm alleged to play.
He said, I'm not working here. I'm now a paying customer, he said.
Yeah, but they told him to bugger off. But as he's snooping around under the slides, he notices that one of the slides is leaking.
Leaking water. Maybe the holes where they put the blades in.
He then finds leftover plastic...
where they've drilled holes through the plastic, you get those little spirals of plastic come out. He found those on the grass.
He heads up to the pool, up to the slides, upstairs, and tries to warn both Paul and Priscilla that the slides are unsafe to travel down.
And no one listened to him, obviously.
Yeah.
Troublemaker. Yeah.
the groups were divided. Some girls are placed in a tube on the right. The other members are in the middle, and Josh, Kimberly, and Chad, they're placed on the left, I think.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, I could have gotten it wrong because I'm not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So they start sliding, and then as they slide down, we get a few good water shots, and then the three girls get sliced and diced. And of course, I should mention Tommy is thrust into.
He's thrust into the same tube where the girls went down.
Yeah, he follows them down, and he notices the blades. He tries to slow down without causing himself to land sharply on the blades.
And he survives.
Yeah,
for a while.
Meanwhile, at the other end, everyone is sliding down, and then we see a lot of blood pouring out of the tube.
Out of that tube that Tommy and the girls were in.
Yeah.
And they're trying to tell the people at the top, don't send anybody down. But you would think they'd be able to see the pool from up there.
I would think so. Anyway.
Why not? It's like, they weren't 10 miles away. They're only about 30 metres up or something.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think that Conrad, he tries to phone, he's got a walkie-talkie, guys.
And they can't hear him.
Anyway. So he ends up breaking his ankle.
He falls off the chair. He passes out.
A little bit.
He gets this blood. Whatever.
Anyway, yes. Josh tries to claw up to the slide to, I don't know why in the scene, to be honest, because
he thinks he can save something. Why would you bother?
Because everyone's been chopped into pizza slices in this scene.
Yeah, bits of arm came out, a leg, something else.
Yeah, some part of someone's thighs.
Yeah.
Ew. Anyway,
and the water was getting redder.
Oh yes, grosser. Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, then let me Conrad tells Kimberly to go and shut the water off at where the water is, done. She goes in there. She finds Michael Randall's dead body, but that's not all. She finds Slim's dead body. See, I told you there's someone missing.
See? Oh, poor Slim.
He was killed off screen. We don't even know why. I don't know why they.
Just lucky. Wrong place, wrong time.
And we find the two dead bodies of the two dead kids we saw at the beginning.
Missing the previous day or whatever.
Yeah.
They must be a bit smelly by now.
Yeah. Josh tries to go up there, goes back up to the slide. Paul and Priscilla, they plan on going down the slide on different groups to, because the numbers were uneven.
Yeah, and obviously it makes it more interesting. The owners participating, made more friendly and stuff.
Yeah. Paul goes down with two other girls, while Priscilla heads down with a mean boy and another guy I don't know the name of. I think I do.
Whatever.
Anyway, doesn't matter. So they go down the slides, and then, Paul he heads down the special armored slide. That's what it's called on Wikipedia, the armored slide. I think
armored slide, whatever,
with the blades in it. And as he's sliding down, I think he notices that the girls were going to get sliced up, and then he sees Josh, and Josh tries to grab onto his hand, but somehow he slips and can't, and he goes down to blades, dying.
Yeah.
Josh quickly goes up to the top, and meanwhile, while down the bottom, we still see more blood gushing out, like it was like.
It's actually called a weaponized slide, but we won't.
Weaponized slide, I should say. Anyway, everyone sees the blood, and most of them freak out. Others either don't notice. I think.
So, I don't care. Or they're wrapped up in the rain of the worlds, I guess a lady, the mother, the young boy, he's about 14, 15.
Yeah, I would say that.
And his mum there, and he's like, "Oh, look at the blood!" Yeah, and mum's going, "Eek!"
Yeah, he's absolutely fascinated by it.
He's a strange little boy.
Yeah, there's I should mention there was a bit of a segment with them. He also found an old-fashioned
a Walkman.
Walkman. I haven't seen one of these ones since the 90s.
But it was fully charged still.
Yeah.
He listened to music and going, "Whose was it? And how did it figure into the story?"
It's a bit odd, guys. I still don't have answered questions on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Totally confused. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the story. Josh goes back up to the top of the slide, tries to appeal to these people up the top that there is danger and that one of the slides is not safe. But they end up thrusting him and Conrad down Conrad goes down the weaponized slide while Josh goes down the safe slide.
Yeah, and they throw him in there.
And then we get a bit of a drone shot of the pool, where the slides are, and it's covered in blood.
And floaties.
Yeah, I do notice on the right-hand side some people who have their legs dangling in the water, which makes me think, oh, this is...
They're not looking, they're having a chat,
Yeah, and we see Josh coming out at the end, and he's quickly darting out of the pool quickly. And then we hear, as in the narration, a news person saying how people have been killed again in this swim park. Because this is not the first time deaths
about 30
occurred.
Years ago or something, or?
See, 30 years ago, this is anniversary. 30 years ago, some people got
35
killed.
35 years.
Yeah, some people got killed. And Tommy brings this up in one of the scenes, but this is the first time we hear about we hear about it twice, but they don't explain it properly in this movie, do they? There's no person to sit down and explain the situation, like who did the killings or anything like that.
Or what happened, or no. All we can figure out is...
Then we cross to a lawyer's office where...
Young Josh.
Where Josh is explained that he's given his dad... Can I
explain this part? You're going to tell him. Okay, Josh's dad got killed, obviously, morally. And Josh is the sole beneficiary of his dad's estate. That dad's a rich businessman type, and he was a guy who was going to buy the water park
and sell it as a mall of the land.
Develop it as a mall, a shopping mall. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, now Josh is a rich young man. All he has to do is sign the paperwork.
Yeah. So he signs the paperwork, and he gives Priscilla, who's the sole owner to the water park or ex-water park, is now given this big check.
How much was it? Come on.
I can't remember. It doesn't really matter.
A lot of money.
Point.
Yeah, lots of money.
And we then watch her face. She's at first sad, but then she looks at the camera, and we see a small smile creeping across her smile. Then we get a flashback to the past where she's sliding down a slide. She's a teenager. And we see her in the water, and we see a dead body in the water, and she's screaming to the lifeguards, who are absolute at the moment just lip locking, which
they weren't paying attention. Her dad's dead, hurt himself, drowned in the water.
We don't. All that sort of stuff, we don't know if he was murdered or just pretty much.
I think he had an accident there, and she blames the people at the park for not doing their job. A little bit like Jason Voorhees' mum blamed the councils there for her little boy drowning. Yeah, same sort of thing.
Yeah, and then we see she continues smiling, and then we flash to the credits, and then we get a post-credit scene where we see that little boy we mention coming out of the water like in a creepy fashion.
Yeah, like he's been under the water for the past half an hour or so. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to replicate the Jason Voorhees coming out of the lake.
I think they're trying to replicate a sequel on the way, but I don't think that's going to happen because now that this movie has proven...
It's going to be a shopping mall now.
Yeah. Again, I don't even know what they're going to do now, considering what's happened.
And we pretty much fade to black, is it?
Yeah, we fade to black, and the credits continue rolling.
Yeah. As
I said before, I should mention, guys, this is like 1 hour long movie. Not under the usual standard of under the usual
probably could have done about 45
feature film
minutes.
length.
He got rid of all the crappy bits.
Yeah, a feature film would at least be an hour and a half long, depending on build up.
Something like that. Yeah. Somewhere in between an hour and an half, and there's a cut-off point where the features, I don't know, I can't remember.
There's a lot of not so... me and Mike have discussed it. There's unnecessary padding in this movie.
Okay. We saw the movie.
Okay.
Oh, wait. How do I put it? Okay. We saw the movie, and we noticed a severe lack of story development in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, exactly so.
The movie relied on the last, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, or 15, 20 minutes.
The rest of it, so you could have put it into a half-hour show, probably. You reckon?
I reckon.
Yeah. They could have made the first part of the movie a tad more interesting, bit of story development, something.
Yeah.
Instead of just people getting their jollies and with a testosterone and boy meets girl and boy screws girl and that sort of stuff.
I would have settled for a few nighttime shots of a few deaths here and there.
Yeah,
something creative to make it look like...
someone goes missing sort of thing, but no one knows where they've gone to, like the first two at the beginning.
Exactly.
And no one knew Dad disappeared because he wasn't a major player. Mm-hmm. He could have gone home. No one would have known. But he got one of the other teenagers would have died. They said, well, where's so-and-so gone? I don't know. Something like that. So they could have done something else.
Yeah, something that will live.
Yeah,
will
so
liven
they could
the
have done
story.
something.
Would have taken this
Bit of character development in there. Something.
Yeah, explains why Josh and Kim broke up. Doesn't exactly explain.
But they're just walking around saying, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. And that's the feeling I had in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, including that naked scene they had in the shower.
Well, it wasn't a great naked scene. Didn't see much. But the point is that, okay, that's fine. A bit of sex thrown in, make it interesting. Whoopee. And it wasn't enough to support the first half of the movie.
Yeah, it just didn't have anything that makes me want to cheer for the characters who survived in this production.
I was waiting for the end of the movie.
I would have loved it if there was a fight, like maybe an encounter with the... but I guess they were trying to make out the killer got away,
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was nothing to support it to say who might have been doing the killings. Like, what would apart from Priscilla's one, she wanted to get revenge, but also wanted to sell the park.
But why here? Why now? Why this weekend? No reason for it. It just, 35 years ago. What's the anniversary date? Perhaps. I don't know. Why bother? But anyway, it's a bit lame. It could have had a better reason.
There
for
was
it to
an
happen,
interesting
maybe.
scene where a bunch of boys, they took a bottle of vodka and tried to slide down a slide.
And they broke that's right in the beginning of it. And that was the bottle got broken. And they took the two kids off, the two young guys off the hospital in an ambulance. Blah blah blah.
It didn't really liven the tension up.
It didn't do much.
It sounds like something I would have seen on the news. Yeah.
So someone heard us off. Never mind. Let's go on the movie. And that was about as far as it went. So, anyway, let's move on a little bit here. Production. This film was shot at the Super Aqua Club water park in Point Calumet in Quebec, Canada. So it was Canadians filming in Canada.
No doubt.
So they probably lived around the corner or something. Now, reception. Well, I couldn't get too much online in your IMDb's and your Wikipedias and stuff and different things. General consensus was average to boring, I think. One of them says here, Arrow in the Head gave it 7 out of 10. And then it says here, once people start going down the slide, those blades are in. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But that was the last half of the movie, or last quarter of the movie?
Yeah, that was the only thing that was really interesting to watch. I keep wondering how... I would have loved it if that was more machete action.
Yeah, anyway.
Or maybe they were worried that if they did too much machete, it would be too much like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, and they just say that that sequence has bloodshed and insanity that lasts for several minutes. And that's about as long as the excitement lasts in the movie. Then Dread Central's comments are irreverent retro slasher throwback from Canada. Unique in its build towards a singly shocking sequence. Aquaslash is way more exciting than your typical trip to the water park. It doesn't say it's boring or good. It just, Rob Hunter from Film School Rejects gave it a negative review, criticising its story and characters and calling it barely watchable misfire. But it still finds some unintentional laughs in its serious nonsense.
I don't think
you laugh at the fact it's so ridiculous and corny.
I get it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Now, I went on to, when I was looking around Amazon and stuff, I looked at some people's reports on the people who had actually bought the movie. And the general consensus is it's a bag of crap, don't waste your money.
That's pretty bleak.
It's not crap. Yes, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
It was a good, basic, fun storyline to make a slasher movie. The problem is the first half of the movie, you could have gone to the shops, got your groceries, come back, and you wouldn't have missed anything.
Yeah.
That's where the problem is. Nothing was happening in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed. It was like more like watching I don't know,
Commercials.
a commercial break in a movie.
The commercials would have been more interesting. Yeah. Well, yeah. Now I can't find. Yeah, most of the people in Amazon's critiques on the product said it was crap. You get the odd one, good one, but most of them said bad. That was it.
Yeah.
And so don't waste your money. You give it 1 star because you can't give 0 stars.
Yeah, I know that I've told people this in the past, that when you're making a script, any kind of script in a movie, always start writing your ending first. And of course, I guess the guys who wrote the ending decided that they should kill off all the characters in one fell swoop by the slide act.
Yeah, it didn't work. Now look, you made a good point there. Writing a movie from the back to the front. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to have this. How can we build up to it? There's no build up. That's the problem. How can we end this movie? Oh, that'd be a great end. How can we build up to it? There's no build up. It's just like whack, whack, whack. Let's go for walk in the park. Also, we're all dead. There you go. Bye. And that was it.
Yeah.
And that's where it was lacking. It didn't have that build up. It didn't have nothing. And it wasn't even, I wouldn't even say there's any suspense. We knew there was blades in the water. We saw the person putting it in.
Yeah. Didn't
see who it was, person or persons. So we didn't see that. And all we saw was the 2 blades were put in there. Okay, someone's going to get killed in the water slide.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's like this person, the director, was trying to create an old B-movie slasher from back in the 80s, even though it was didn't seem to have anything get the audience interested. They get their adrenaline going.
You get the old juices pumping, guys.
I mean, other slashers from the 80s did probably do a lot more better job at raising the adrenaline going.
The people, the roles, characters weren't interesting.
No,
they weren't interesting enough.
Yeah, I found Josh, Tommy, Kimberly, the dad, Paul, and Priscilla. They were the most boringest people.
Boring as a bat's piss. How's that?
One-sided characters I ever seen.
Yeah, shallow, and it just look, if you got nothing better to do, you can watch it and you get a bit of right. But I wouldn't watch the second time.
They're just boring. They're just like people on paper. They don't really have anything to make them look real.
A cardboard cutout would have more life.
Exactly. No offense to my Elvira cutout.
Now, Elvira's behind me here looking at me with that nice, sexy look, and she's very attractive. Now, she got more life than the people in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
I just wish I didn't. Yeah. I don't want to troll this movie.
We're not trolling, but we're calling it how it is. We're not. Yeah. I do feel sorry for the people who actually made the movie.
I feel sorry for people who worked in it. Who filmed it.
They had the chance to make it better.
Yeah.
Now the problem is. I think the problem is, like.
I mean, I've seen a lot of other movies that deal with resorts and pool stuff, and most of them can pull it off. Because I remember this one time they did one called Spring Break, and it dealt with a bunch of teens going up to his father's hotel resort, and then his father starts killing kids, and there's some really good scenes there in that movie, and every single person got killed and disappeared, and everyone started questioning what happened to that said person, and then it creates a good story there. I think that there could have been a lot more things they could have done with this project. They could have had a person disappear in one scene.
What I was going to say is, okay,
go on.
I think the problem is, all right,
2
problems. It was written and directed by the one guy.
Right.
He had an assistant writer, but how much assistance he got.
Yeah.
Renaud Gauthier. Gauthier?
I'll take your word for it.
He was the director and co-writer. Pierre Alexander Bouchard was the producer. I think he should have looked over his shoulder and read the script through a couple of times and said, well, it's a bit lacking here because he's wasting his money, no matter how much it was. So I think there's a problem here. They could have some film scripts on some of the movies that we have reviewed over the past couple of years have been in development for a couple of years.
No duh.
For 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years developing the script. 10 drafts later, we're getting closer and closer, and they fine tune it and get another writer. And well, it's no good writing a script in say 2 or 3 weeks and hoping it's going to be a corker if you're going to be the writer and the director and stuff, and no one's looking over your shoulder saying, "I don't think it works." I think someone should have had a look at it. He should have got a third party to read over the script and see if it flowed. Was it interesting enough? I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Pierre and Renaud should have had a good look at it, and if not, get a friend of theirs to read through it. And I think that's where it was. They needed something more in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many dead bits here and there that just didn't really work.
Yeah, and the other dead bits were in the pool.
Quite right.
Whatever.
But
anyway, look, it's not a bad, horrible, like what rate the 10 worst movies in the world sort of thing, but it's not a great movie, and you can afford to miss this one. But those of you who want to brave the elements, jumped into the pool and test the water, so to speak.
Good one.
You can purchase this. If you want to purchase it, on eBay. There's plenty for sale. Gee, surprising. Amazon, you can rent it or buy it. I would suggest, if you're nosy, rent it, and then you can throw up into a paper bag or whatever you're going to do. And, well, after all the blood and guts at the end of it. Yes, and, it's not a biggie. A couple of dollars for rental.
Yeah.
Look at it and say, gee, that was a waste of an hour and a half. And, it's not the greatest movie. I sat through it. I was relieved at the end, but I just realised I wasted an hour and 20 minutes. And I
got to admit, Mike. I mean, I was disappointed.
It was lacking something.
Yeah. The things that make a good horror movie are not just the gore; it's the story. As I said,
I mean, I told Sarah many times. Okay. Here, and I'll say it again, I probably said it on the previous podcast. Even if you're going to write a fictional story, slasher, whatever it is, it's got to feel real. This didn't feel real.
No.
They just, it's the people standing around here, someone's going to die. Oh, there you go, we've got a movie. No. And that's where it gets into good creative writing, the text. The lines are got to do, any backstories, character developments, something or other. It's got to come over as real to draw the people into the movie. I didn't get drawn. I was drawn into the movie at all. Yeah. I guess going, okay, I'll sit here. I need to go to the toilet, but I'll wait.
Yeah. Sleepaway Camp. That one kind of draws my attention. Yeah. And Friday the 13th, with its point of view shots, that draws my attention. You sit there and say,
well, what's going to happen next? In this movie, you say, I don't care what happens next.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite, yeah. And they've lost something. The magic was there, waiting to come out, but the magic never came out.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is.
They were fighting against something that was meant to be...
I think they were... Yeah, I don't know, I didn't check to see if Pierre Bouchard had produced any other movies or Renaud Gauthier has directed anything apart from this before this, but honestly, I'd like to think they can get better than this on next production.
Fingers crossed.
Well, yeah, because this is really, to me, this entry level, almost student film level.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I would definitely say that.
Yeah, like, this is a school project at the end of my university or my whatever, my tertiary teaching, whatever class I was in, and that's the movie I made, and I got 95 out of 100 for it, unlucky. But it came over like that sort of thing to me.
Yeah. And as I said before, I didn't care about the characters. I know Josh was supposed to be the lead good guy in it, but he didn't do anything for me.
He didn't have a strong personality.
Yeah, his character was pretty much, I'm a band person, I had an ex-girlfriend, and I got in a fight with this guy who was named Tommy, who happened to be in love with my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
There was nothing there that tells me why did she want to go back to being his girlfriend.
There's no strong characters, was there? He's supposed to be the make a final guy, whatever.
Final guy,
but he could have had it. They could have picked someone with a stronger personality, hero type, Ken, Barbie sort of stuff, you know. Somebody who everyone's, he's a really nice guy, great personality, good looking guy. He didn't look too bad, but his personality was a bit lame for the movie.
Yeah, I remember another story a while back. That was a slasher named the Valentine's Day Massacre one, where in that one there was a character in that who decided to break up with his girlfriend in order to find himself in Los Angeles, and then he came back and started working in the mine, and he found that his girlfriend is already in a relationship with someone else named, and he decides to try to get back with her in the story, and it was kind of romantic and nice and stuff, but compared to that and this movie, this movie comes off lacking. Like, why did they break up in the first place? There's no explanation.
I don't think it really needed that, but they could have. You could have developed that like there was a bit of a spark left there, not just having sex. I mean, just a bit of a spark.
Sex does not sell movies.
Sex is just animal shit, and I'm sorry, but it doesn't sell a movie.
Yeah.
I'm not against sex in the movie.
Yeah,
I'm not a prude, but it's got to be part of the story, not a diversion.
Yeah, there's like a lot of sex in this movie, in the first half of this movie, that doesn't really carry
it doesn't carry the movie.
Torch
or
anything.
It doesn't do anything for the movie.
And I don't think it's will look at making a sequel anytime soon, in my opinion.
Well, I wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shopping mall.
Yay.
Yeah.
But the kid at the end, he looks like he was going to go on to become the next slasher. Or next Jason Voorhees.
Well, he could be a bit bent, but it can't be a water pump because it won't be there. Unless something happens in between then and the time they bulldoze it.
Who knows? Or unless he goes on to another water park and starts killing kids there. That will make it interesting.
Could do. Actually, I noticed one thing.
What's that?
They had two blades in the water.
Oh, yes, I've noticed.
And the band was called Blades.
Blades? Yes. I've noticed that
There's
too.
a lack of imagination here, guys.
It's the same with Velvet Buzzsaw. The title of the movie and the title of the band in that
but that was because
tattoo.
That was about her tattoo, which referred to her time in the band The Velvet Buzzsaw. And the Velvet Buzzsaw was the tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to admit.
That was good, that. I love The Velvet Buzzsaw. That was a good movie.
I'm amazed the police didn't bother picking up that idea.
Yeah, and that was a problem with that movie too. The police weren't even in there.
Yeah.
With all these people dying, there was not one policeman in the whole movie.
Yeah, most of the kids were running around. When they saw the blood, they started panicking.
I'm talking about Velvet Buzzsaw.
I know, but you have a point there.
Yeah, but there's no police in that one. And this one here is...
barely even police around.
Well, it happened all in one go. But the point remains is that they could have developed parts of the story a bit better to keep one interested.
Yeah.
And watching somebody flirt with somebody, or someone having a meltdown or something or other, or someone having dinner, doesn't really carry the movie.
Yeah, at least when they did do Sleepaway Camp, they were able to at least try to create create suspense and suspects.
Yeah, who's doing what to whom? I wonder if that's the person over there. Maybe it could be that person. That sort of stuff. But there's nothing in this movie like that at all. There's no suspense. There's no mystery. There's no build-up. There's just like boring. Oh, some people died. That's it, finished. And that's what's lacking in this movie. Sorry, Pierre and Renee. You got a problem here.
Yeah, so should we rate this movie now? Because I don't want to trash talk.
I don't want to keep talking about it either because I'm running out of things to say. And out of respect...
Me neither.
No, out of respect, I'm going to say, look, they put their time into it. They wrote it. Actually, the filming's not actually bad. The DOP stuff's pretty good. The audio is good. Everything else worked out reasonably good. So they put a lot of effort into it, but it was severely lacking in some bits. So I'm going to do a halfway. I'm going to say 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10 myself. I'm a little disappointed, and doesn't really happen to me very often.
No.
I mean,
but we can't always do a really, really good movie, and we've been looking for ones where they're under the radar, and that sort of stuff. And this one's under the radar for
a reason.
Good reason, because nobody wants to watch it. No, it's. I'm really sorry for the guys who put the time into making it. I mean, the actors and everybody, the cast and the crew, blah blah. Yeah, it's just that something was severely lacking in this movie, and I can't give it. It's a good watch if you got nothing better to do and you got a bit of time to waste. So okay, I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to see it.
I wish that Wes Craven might have been here, lived long enough to tell them what to do.
If you watch it, kill him.
You probably kill them. The director.
Yeah. Anyway, no. Okay. Look.
Anyway,
I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything else either.
But like I said, you can get it on eBay. There's plenty there. Amazon, you can buy it or rent it. I would rent it or find it. See if somebody got a free copy you can have a look at. If it's. Yeah, it's sad that when people put the effort in, it just comes over so lame.
Yeah, I was hoping that this slasher, I was hoping that there would be kills throughout, not just way to the bitter end.
Just the booby trap and the thing at the end. But Dad got killed, the people got killed at the beginning, and that band member got killed somewhere behind the scenes.
Yeah, why didn't do that? I'll never know. Yeah. You know, it would have been wonderful if that would have
what happened there? And it could have inspired a little. Unless they cut the part out. Maybe. Maybe it's too gruesome or something. What happened to it? They cut that, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's probably the biggest problem in this movie, that they did not enough of
enough gruesome bits.
The blades was a good touch, but I would have loved to see more of interaction between the slasher killer and his victims.
Well, maybe. But of course, it needed something.
It just needed something.
The mix wasn't right. How's that?
Yeah, like more dead bodies inside the wherever the killer hid them away would be cool too.
Anyway, I think it's about it. I can't think.
And I don't want to continue trash talking this movie. I don't want to.
But the point is, the guys gave it a good go, but you can't. Look, even big film studios get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
So all I'm saying is. To Pierre and Renaud, don't give up. I mean, I watched that David Lynch thing, Eraserhead. Remember years ago?
I know.
I watched it several times. I still don't like it, but he's made good movies after that. Excellent movies. So I hope these guys can go on to the next level and do something really, really good.
Oh, by the way, one of the guys in this movie, I know Mike doesn't want me to tell you this, he has a hairstyle that made me think of both Razorhead or Conehead, from the movie.
Yeah, there's Afro-American guy there.
Yes.
He's got this hair which is standing straight up. I don't know. It looks like he's wearing a hat. I mean, look, honestly, I have never seen anybody of that sort of hairstyle ever in the current day movies or old movies. Except for
when they did Liar Vampire, when he did that hairstyle with his sweater.
His hair stood straight up, and then it just looks so wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
The last time I saw a hairstyle that worse is watching Cobra Kai, where a guy had his hair that looked like something out of an 80s movie or something.
Whatever.
I gotta admit, every time someone does something that looks like something 80s, I feel like I want to cry.
Anyway.
Because no one ever cares about their appearance anymore in these TV series and movies anymore. And I feel like I don't feel like I take it seriously.
Anyway, that's about it. Let's kill these people. Probably getting bored of this one now.
Okay, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this review.
We're going to do a good one next.
I hope to review an anthology next time.
Yeah, we've got one we looked at the other night. We're thinking of doing it.
Yeah,
anthologies sometimes can be good. And I think we should do a few more anthologies, some new ones and old ones.
Yeah, well, this next one will be called. What's it called? Nightmare Cinema.
Yeah. I think Mickey Rourke's in it.
Yeah, and let me see.
And other people.
Yeah, some other people.
But that's fun. But there's VHS. They're ones we might review later on, and then there's some old ones. we might do, but not all at the same time. Yep.
No. I like a little bit of a variety, and I don't want to be making it always
not all the same
a
thing.
theme here and there.
Another thing, you do one or two, and then give the break for a couple months, then bring another one in. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Anyway, I know I've already done 2 franchises and 2 fan films, and we've already done this one, obviously, and now we're going to do an anthology. I just don't want to make. I just want to
spread it out a bit.
Spread around. Scatter a few films
Anyway,
and
guys,
movies. So
I'm going to turn her off now.
yes. So thanks for watching our latest episode, everyone. Be sure to check it out if you don't want to be bored.
Have a look, and actually, I'd like your opinion because I think the first half. And the second half actually comes along reasonably good. It's the first half. It's just something's lacking. Who actually wrote the first half?
Me.
Was it Renault, or the filler guy, or did they actually dream the first part of it? Or I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for watching our latest episode, everyone. So this is Sarah Stephenson
and Michael
saying, see you guys next time. Hopefully it'll be a good review. Bye for now.
Bye.